Most men think attraction starts when a woman says something obvious. It doesn't. It starts in silence, in the way her energy changes around you, in the way she listens longer than necessary, in the way her tone softens without her realizing it. And the truth is, by the time a woman openly admits she likes you, she's usually been emotionally attached for a while already. Before we go deeper, subscribe to the channel if you want to understand female psychology without the confusion. Most men spend years misreading signals, chasing validation, and ruining connections they could have built naturally. This channel helps you see what women rarely say out loud. Now listen carefully. A woman rarely reveals attraction directly in the beginning. She reveals it indirectly through comfort. That's the sign most men overlook. When a woman feels emotionally drawn to you, her nervous system begins relaxing around you. She stops acting overly polished. She becomes more natural, more expressive, more emotionally available. And it happens subtly. She starts remembering small details you mentioned casually. She laughs more genuinely around you. She keeps conversations going even when there's no practical reason to. Why? Because attraction for women is emotional before it's verbal. The mistake most men make is assuming attraction looks dramatic. They expect obvious flirting, non-stop compliments, or constant texting. But real emotional interest usually looks quieter than that. It looks like attention. When a woman is invested, she gives you focus. She notices your mood shifts. She reacts differently to your presence than she does with everyone else. Her energy becomes softer, warmer, more engaged. And here's something important most men never understand. Women don't emotionally open toward men who make them feel pressured. They open toward men who make them feel emotionally safe. That doesn't mean weak. It doesn't mean passive. It means calm. A grounded man creates emotional safety because he doesn't panic when emotions change. He doesn't chase every mixed signal. He doesn't lose himself trying to earn affection. And women feel that immediately. Have you ever noticed how some women start teasing a man they secretly like? That's not random. Playfulness is often emotional testing. She's checking your confidence. She wants to see whether you become reactive, defensive, or insecure. Most men fail right there. The moment they feel attraction, they start over-explaining themselves. They seek reassurance. They become too available too quickly. And ironically, that pressure weakens attraction. Because attraction grows best in emotional freedom. A woman wants to feel your presence, not your desperation. That's why emotionally centered men stand out so much. They don't force connection, they allow it to develop naturally. And when a woman senses that calm emotional strength, something changes inside her. She begins investing voluntarily. She texts first sometimes. She creates reasons to continue conversations. She starts sharing more personal thoughts, memories, and emotions. Not because you convinced her, because she feels safe enough to reveal herself. That's the difference. A woman may be physically attracted to many men, but emotional attachment only happens when she feels understood without feeling controlled. And here's where things get deeper. Sometimes when a woman starts developing stronger feelings, her behavior becomes confusing. She may pull back slightly. She may become quieter for a while. She may suddenly seem more careful. Most men assume this means loss of interest. Not always. Sometimes it means the feelings became real enough to scare her. Emotional vulnerability is uncomfortable for many people, especially women who've been disappointed before. So when emotions deepen, self-protection appears. This is where emotionally mature men separate themselves from emotionally reactive men. The reactive man panics. He chases harder. He demands reassurance. But the grounded man stays steady. He doesn't collapse emotionally because her mood shifted for a day. He understands that attraction needs emotional breathing room, and that calmness creates even more trust, because what women truly crave is emotional stability, not perfection, not endless attention. Stability. A man whose energy feels consistent. When she feels that consistency, her guard lowers naturally. She starts associating your presence with peace instead of pressure. That's when attraction becomes attachment. She begins thinking about you when you're not around. Your conversations stay in her mind longer. Your opinion starts carrying emotional weight. And none of that happens because you chased her. It happens because your presence felt different. Here's the final truth most men never hear. Women don't stay emotionally attached because of perfect looks, perfect words, or non-stop excitement. They stay because of emotional experience, because of how safe, calm, and understood they felt around you. That's why emotional discipline matters so much as a man. If your mood constantly depends on her validation, she feels instability. But if you remain grounded, purposeful, and emotionally balanced, she relaxes into your presence. And once a woman feels she can emotionally relax around you without fear, without pressure, without games, that's when she truly begins to fall. So stop obsessing over trying to impress women. Instead, become the kind of man whose energy feels peaceful to be around. Because in the end, women may notice confidence, but they emotionally attach to calmness.